Good evening and welcome to another edition of SWIM. It's the swimming pool, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. My name is Travis Bridges and I'm calling this a special edition. Last night we had a guest and we talked about the same old you, and the guest was talking about how things happen, and instead of us changing for the better, sometimes we get a little bit bitter. And that was the gist of the conversation that I had. So I'm just going to do part two right now of that. My guest agreed to come back and share with me. So I'm going to just jump right into it and get the guest on the phone. And we're going to continue with how important it is to allow things to not change you as opposed to changing.
Hello.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. You said fine. Like, do you mean fine as in okay, or fine as in you think you hot?
Both.
Both. Okay. I just want clarity. So you said I'm fine.
Both.
I didn't know what you.
I'm fine.
Okay. So you fine as in you looking good and on top of things, or you just fine as in you're doing well. You're okay.
Like I said, both.
Okay.
I made peace with my brothers.
What? Wait a minute. You were not supposed to tell who this was about?
What? From that interview and everything, and the Holy Spirit started dealing with me. My motto is, and you can read what I send to people, charity starts at home and spreads abroad. And I love my family deep, very deep. And this has been the toughest, roughest since May of my life. And I was the only one hurting. I felt, I know, and I can only speak for me, was the only one hurting. So, and I miss going to the home house. I miss being there. I miss hanging out with my brothers. I just miss it, And through all this, what's so bad that I can't live and move on? And I said what I had to say. And that's it. My brother has some stuff to say, but I didn't, he don't realize that we are all grown. When he had the opportunity, that's spilled milk now. So we have to move on from where we are, um, from where we are at now, the present now. And we are all grown. So, yes, you are still my big brother, but I don't need you to protect, show me no more. I'm grown. That shoulda, woulda, coulda is gone. So I just want to be my, that go home when I want to, sit up there when I want to, like we did, and move on. I'm done. I said what I had to say. It's done. Spill milk. The way it was done, I thought it was disrespectful, but it's done. I ain't changing nothing. Ain't trying to change. But I knew as a child I got beat. We didn't fight. We didn't fight. We dared not fight each other. So that's what I grew up with. Love starts at home and spreads abroad. So I went back home. And now I'm ready to spread it abroad again. Because I got love. Love for everybody. Love for everybody. But more love for my family, because that's the beginning of my life. And I knew my two brothers before I knew my three sisters.
Okay. Well, you jumped right on in there, and I appreciate that. So, based on what I'm hearing, is that maybe you made amends with that situation?
I did. I did. I am satisfied in my
Sorry about the
soul,
noise.
my spirit.
Okay, you're
In my
saying,
soul and in my spirit, I am satisfied. I know that that my mother, even in her state of mind, I went to tell my mother because she knew what was going on somewhat, and I knew that that was not us. That's not what we were taught.
right,
So life goes on. We don't always like, but we everybody have that right to opinion, to agree and disagree, and you just move on. And so that's what I've decided to do through all this, and I do appreciate the opportunity because it allowed me to open up to my vulnerable side and to put my pride aside and do what I know is the godly thing to do and the right thing to do, you know, and that's love, and now I have to show that I meant what I said, you know, and I don't have a problem doing it.
okay. Well, I didn't get to do much talking at all, and I didn't ask any questions. Sounds like you sort of kind of made amends and you handled the situation, and everything is good now. If you had to give a percentage of where they were 3 or 4 days ago as opposed to right now, what would that percentage be in terms of everything being okay, cool, and copacetic?
I think for me, from probably about 25% from the beginning till it's not 100% because I know him, I know the situation. But for me, at least it's a 99.9% effort, and it's all out of love and sincerity. I
Okay.
meant what I said, and when I went there, my heart was overjoyed. Nervous, I it took. I was nervous, but it was done. It was done.
Okay, so
It
tell
took
me,
the Holy
tell me what
Spirit to
happened. I
do it.
mean, I thought I would jump into a bunch of questions, and I thought this would definitely go into a different place. I had to move around in my studio, but I'm back now. So tell me how it went. What happened? I mean, because like right now, I'm just kind of sort of jumping into this. What
Well,
happened? What did you do?
after our interview last night and listening to it and really hearing myself, and after a conversation this morning, I was home alone and no noise and allowed the Holy Spirit to deal with me and to dwell within me. Because God knows how long I've been hurting. And I know what I believe and my belief. And like I said, I believe that charity starts at home. And
Okay,
it
I have
does
some.
for
I have
them.
some specific questions. Without getting into
Okay?
too much detail, you already let the cat out of the bag. We were trying not to mention
Yeah,
exactly
that's
who, and
okay.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you're okay with it because you're the one who mentioned it. I just try to stay away from it, so we're okay on that.
Yeah.
My point now, what I want to understand is what exactly did you do? What step?
Well,
What
I
was your
went,
first, second, or third step? What step did you make to make amends?
I prayed, and then I asked the Holy Spirit as it was dealing with me to let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be accepted. And it took me a few, but I couldn't wait to get there. I went to the home house, and I spoke with my youngest brother, well, older than me, and said the same thing. You know, I believe that charity starts at home, and who could love my family any more than I do?
Okay,
And
hold on a second. Okay, listen to me. For the sake of time, I want you to tell me what did you actually do? What was the step you did? The physical thing that you did, or said to get the ball rolling into the direction that you're at 99.9% from 25%. That's a big step. And I remember a few days ago, you were not happy. You were, pretty vexed. And now you're at 99.9. That's pretty good. So tell me, what did you actually do or say, if you can?
Well, I dealt with myself. And from the interview of saying what you mean, from that interview, and like I said, listening back, I started dealing with myself internally, praying within.
Okay, I get it now. Okay. I wasn't connecting with what you were saying. Okay, now I get it, because I was kind of all over the place and I didn't want to interrupt you. So, in recapping, what you did was dealt with yourself first. And I think that is the number one thing. We've got to go to the mirror, and that's what you did. And after you did that, whatever you did, you don't even have to tell me now what you did, because I was asking you what it was that you did, and it's okay that you don't have to tell me what it was, specifically, as long as you took the first step, because, taking the first step and looking in the mirror and dealing with ourselves, it comes easy then. It's just a no-brainer after that. So whatever happened, I don't even have to know. I don't even want to know. But I'm going to just say this again for the sake of time. This was a special follow-up. I didn't know I was going to do this, and I didn't know you were going to say okay. I definitely didn't know how much you were going to get into it with me, but I'm glad you did. And I think, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back now. Okay, sorry about that. The point I was making is that when we deal with ourselves, the rest just comes easy, and it sounds like you did that. And I'm glad. I really don't want to look like I did anything special. You're my sister, you're my friend, you're like family to me. And when I saw that, I reached out, and I'm glad you were able to not look at me as correcting you, but you able to look at a situation where you could, make a decision on your own as to what you were going to do to rectify a situation that was clearly out of hand. So what I want to do just before we go is, was it a misunderstanding, yes or no?
Yeah.
Was it something that really needed to be discussed and talked about, yes or no?
Yeah.
Is it something that, had either you or the other party decided to just listen, would have been resolved long before now?
Possibly could have.
Possibly. Okay, I like that. You're being safe, and I like that. The bottom line is this, and this interview has definitely proven the point that I want to make. There is an answer to every question. There's a solution to every problem. But you know what? We're going to have to start with ourselves first. We can always point at the other person or the other people. And there's nothing wrong. When someone does something out of order, you have to call attention to that. But in the effort to resolve that, we really have to focus more on ourselves instead of pointing at, what the problem is. The solution is within ourselves, and we want to be a part of the solution as opposed to the problem. So I have nothing more to say other than thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because you put yourself out there, you even put some personal information out there, but it really doesn't matter. We're all family. This happened within your immediate blood family, but as a human race, we're all family. And I am honored that you shared that with me, and however I was used to help you get to a different place. I'm just going to say, I'm grateful that I was able to be used to just bring attention to that. And I hope that, of course, you were blessed and you were able to make a change, maybe someone else, including me, because, I may not talk too much about, how I get blessed, but I learned a lot from listening to you.
And I did too. I learned a lot from listening to you and to the entire broadcast to help me work on myself. Because you have to start within yourself. You can't change I can't change nobody but me, and that's it. So that's what I know I had to do. was changing me and my perspective of the way things happen. We go in life, but things happen. We don't always like it, but and another motto is mine: what don't kill you will make you stronger. So
Girl,
I
you
know
just
after
preached. Hold
today,
on a
I
second.
must
Hold
be
on.
strong.
You just preached. I think we need to raise an offering right now. I'm going to put my information on the screen because that'll preach, man. I mean, and it's old and it's basic. If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. And I'm glad that's your
That's
attitude
right.
about it. Okay. On that note,
That's it.
you told me you had to go, but
Yeah.
I just want to again thank you. I'm actually proud of you.
Thank
For
you.
looking at yourself. I don't have anything else to say other than thank you, and may God continue to bless you and your family. And maybe, sometimes when I guess a new wound, once you sew it up and put the dressing on it, that's not the end of it. You also have to go back and tend to it, maybe change the dressing,
Yeah.
put some ointment on it or something. So maybe spend some more time with the other party, and opening
Oh, I will.
yourself up
Most
to be able
definitely.
to hear. Yeah, there you go. It's not
I
over
most
just
definitely will
because
because
it's,
I miss going home.
that's awesome.
I miss going home.
Okay, do me a special favor. When you
Okay?
see everybody, let them know that my mama's fifth child gives them nothing but love, high fives and hugs to everybody, and tell them I said hello, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. When I come back home, when I come back to town, I'm buying everybody coffee, okay? You guys can buy the meal, but I'll buy the coffee.
All right, then.
Hey, I love you so
All right,
much. Thank
love
you.
you.
Have a fantastic
Thank you.
rest of the day and evening and week, okay?
You too.
All right,
All
bye.
right.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much. I just got an inkling to pick up the phone and call my sister and just, reach out, and to my surprise, she had gone and rectified the problem that she was, experiencing, with some family members that, just kind of sort of got out of hand. And in closing on this particular subject, I just want to remind, myself in particular, and if you want to get in on it, that's fine. But, just remind us all in general that there's no need whatsoever. There's no excuse whatsoever to stop talking to people that you love and you care about. And if it's another human being, I don't care if it's your family or not, or if it's your neighbor or someone you have to deal with. That's another human mind, body, and soul that you have the ability to affect in a positive or negative way. So if you have a problem, stop being used by the enemy who wants to sift us all as wheat, and find a way to talk. It's not that hard. It requires, putting your ego down, but it's not difficult. And, again, we don't always get our way. We can't always feel good about everything, but it's not so much about feelings. Our feelings are there to guide us, but they're not there to lead us, to the degree that it becomes to our detriment. So with that being said, this has been part 2 of the same old me, and I guess she's now back to the same old her, because we are who we are. Circumstances, situations can change us, but they don't have to change us for the worse. So on that note, thank you again for watching, listening, liking, and sharing. Until the next time, find somebody you need to say I love you to, and don't just say it. Say it and then show it, and then keep saying it and showing it. Okay? Have a great rest of the day.